What happens if you eat a full kilogram of protein in a single day? A question like that sounds as if it escaped from a late-night gym forum after guzzling a pre-workout shake, but let's play it straight. Imagine you wake up determined to set a record, armed with tubs of whey, cartons of egg whites, and a steak the size of a car tire. By breakfast, you've already blended 300 grams, roughly the protein content of an entire college football team's meal plan, into an oat milk smoothie that tastes like damp chalk. You swallow it anyway, feeling heroically anabolic and only slightly betrayed by your taste buds. Your digestive tract responds first, because somebody has to. Protein must be dismantled into amino acids, and that process needs enzymes, time, and plenty of stomach acid. You've just asked your gut to process the equivalent of 15 average-sized chickens, feathers omitted but ambition intact. Peristalsis shifts into overdrive. Hydrochloric acid production spikes. The small intestine prepares to host the equivalent of a biochemical rush-hour traffic jam. You feel warm because deaminating amino acids is metabolically expensive. Your body's version of running the furnace at full blast just to keep up with the workload. By midday, the flood of amino acids reaches your liver, which is already Googling remote island retirement. To deal with excess protein, the liver strips away the nitrogen groups and turns them into urea. That urea must be escorted out by your kidneys, meaning your renal system suddenly resembles a shipping dock during a surprise Black Friday sale. Water is pulled into the mix to keep everything moving, so you start feeling parched, even though you've drained a gallon jug. Meanwhile, your bloodstream is thick with leftover carbon skeletons, many of which are rerouted into glucose or fat. Yes, downing 1,000 grams of protein can ultimately make you store more fat, which is like paying extra baggage fees for an overstuffed carry-on you never meant to pack. Afternoon lifts at the gym feel strangely underwhelming. Muscle protein synthesis maxes out at about 0.3 grams per kilogram of body weight per meal. Beyond that ceiling, your body files a polite thanks but no thanks form and bins the rest. So while you're bench pressing, only a fraction of those precious amino acids are actually patching up micro tears in your pecs. The rest are still standing in line at the metabolic DMV, waiting for their nitrogen tags to be clipped. The ammonia generated along the way is mildly neurotoxic. Your brain responds by wrapping itself in a fog blanket, and suddenly you can't remember if your third set was 8 reps or a philosophical daydream about lentils. Early evening brings gastrointestinal repercussions fit for a cautionary fable. The colon, encountering partially digested protein leftovers, lets its resident bacteria throw a fermentation festival. Hydrogen, methane, and traces of hydrogen sulfide inflate you like a weather balloon. Friendly roommates will begin drafting eviction notices. Enemies will surrender unconditionally. You, meanwhile, keep running to the bathroom as your kidneys heroically filter urea, at a rate usually reserved for marathon foredrips. Somewhere around gram 700, your pancreas curtails digestive enzyme output. Not out of malice, but because it literally cannot store or secrete enough protease to keep pace. Undigested peptides slip through, triggering immune responses that can mimic food poisoning, cramping, nausea, maybe even vomiting. If you push through to the full 1,000 grams, for science, for glory, for that one commenter who said it was possible, you'll discover a new dimension of fatigue as your liver's urea cycle hits its biochemical speed limit. Blood urea nitrogen shoots upward. Doctors call this azotemia, but you'll know it by the pounding headache and the eerie smell of cat litter wafting from your sweat. Night arrives, and with it, the final twist, paradoxical dehydration. Despite drinking liters all day, you're still short because every molecule of urea exiting the kidneys drags water with it. Electrolytes become unbalanced, your heart flutters in protest. In severe cases, the overload of nitrogen can tip you into hyperammonemia, a condition that makes thoughts misfire and, untreated, can march toward coma. All this to hit a macro target that outmuscles basic physiology. By sunrise, you'll have excreted most of yesterday's heroics, though your gut microbiome may require diplomatic talks for weeks. The scale might show you heavier, but that's water retention. The mirror, cruelly honest, reveals no sudden Hulk transformation. What you will have gained is an intimate, unforgettable tour of human metabolism's red line limits, and perhaps a newfound respect for the modest 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram that sports scientists recommend. After all, there's a thin line between fueling performance and turning your body into a nitrogen disposal facility, and 1,000 grams of protein doesn't just cross it, it sprints past, waving a shaker bottle like a victory flag while your kidneys file the paperwork.